2013. The notice requirements provided for in the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. Notice that this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Asbury Park Press, the Star Ledger, the Independent, and the Two-River Times, and by posting at the Middletown Township Municipal Building and filing with the Township Clerk on March 25, 2013. Committeeman Fiore. Here. Committeeman Seth. Deputy Mayor Murray. Here. Committeeman San Marino.
Here.
Mayor Sharp.
Here.
Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence to honor the troops serving worldwide, defending our freedoms, constitutions, and way of life. Thank you. At this time, we have the introduction of Resolution 13-106, an introduction of the 2013 municipal budget.
I think we'll have Nick give the presentation before we do the introduction.
Make this short so that we can start our holiday weekend. Right. Tonight we have the introduction of the 2013 municipal budget. First slide shows the results from 2012 operating budget, the revenues. We had anticipated $16,049,214, and we received $16,253,653, which gives us an extra $204,439, and that is including the loss of revenues during the storm, mainly in the construction office. For the 2.5 months, they did nothing else but the emergency assessments of the property. So we lost quite a bit of revenue there. This is your 2013 budget summarized. On the left, you have the summary of your revenues. On the right is the summary of your appropriations. This is the left is available on sheet 11 of the municipal budget, and the appropriations available on sheet 30 of the municipal budget. So in this budget, we're using $2.5 million in surplus, which is kind of the new trend versus the old trend of using $4.5 million. So we're kind of in the $2 million range. We used a little bit more here to try to help ease some of the strains that we're feeling from the loss of revenues and the storm. As we roll down, you can see that we have miscellaneous revenues of $15,097,182. Of course, that doesn't count all the grants that we may get between now and the time of adoption. It only counts the grants that we have currently. It includes every bit of revenue that we can anticipate to help offset the cost of Superstorm Sandy. That also includes $2.3 million from FEMA that we're expecting to get before we adopt. Municipal tax rate, just municipality side is $45,148,875, and the library is $300,000 $3,472,820. The total revenues will be $66,418,877. On the appropriation side, we have $49,630,523 within the cap, and $4,317,020 outside the cap. Total budget, $66,418,877. This is our breakdown of where our budget is, basically what it's basically made up of. It puts the salaries all together in one spot as one expense, and then it breaks down the other ones into the remaining major expenses. So salaries make up 37.01%, which is kind of standard from the past couple of years. It may have decreased just a little bit. Insurance is our next largest, which is 15.9%, and that's all insurance, not just health. That's liability and workers' comp and unemployment. The next is our debt service, which is 11.69%. And you can see the deferred charges here. Up on the top, it says 4.22%. You can't, I'm trying to get my mouse to show you. Right here, that's basic, that's all Sandy. So Sandy makes up this piece of the pie right here, 4.22%. And the other large one is pension, which is 5.89%. A breakdown of the 2012 tax levy. This hasn't changed. We all know the percentages, but the numbers came out exactly the same from 2011 to 2012. Not even a 0.5% off. So the school board is 62%, county is 13%, municipality is 21%, and then you have your library, which is about 2%, and municipal open space. It's 2%, but it comes out to probably 1.9 something in the county open space. Cost drivers. Healthcare is our biggest cost driver. Excuse me. We have an increase of $630,000, giving us a total of $8,400,000. I just want to make one comment about the healthcare. Even though it's a large cost driver for the town, our increase represents an 8.1% increase, which is far below what the average increases are across the state, probably across the country. So most of the time, you're talking about double digits and sometimes into the 20s. State health benefit plans over the years have hit 20 to 25% increases, and over the past few years. And ours is only 8.1. That includes everything, including the leader, which is the prescriptions. We happen to do a pretty good job with our self-insured plan. This also includes our contributions from employees. Next is Sandy. This is going to be something that we're going to be looking at for this year plus another 4 years. Unless we get to 90%, if we get to 90%, this number will change radically. PFRS, we had a pretty good run one year. We got a nice break. This number was actually supposed to be higher, and last year at the end of, I guess it was October, they recalculated with the new pension rules that are out there where they have capped PFRS and ERS, and added contributions, this number became a lot smaller. As a matter of fact, our public employees retirement system, PERS, has decreased from last year. So it went down by, I think, $90,000.
Explain what the difference PFRS is.
PFRS is public employees, PFRS is police and fire. So PERS is the rest of us. The ones that don't carry guns or hoses. Or axes. Well, some of us might carry an axe. And then we have general liability. It's not a huge number increase, but it is a continuous cost driver. Here's a comparison of the 2012 to 2013 change in property tax. We have a change of $68,489,287 in assessed value. That's a reduction of 0.69% in total assessed value. This also includes the reduction that was given to those residents that had major, or actually any kind of damage to their house where they couldn't live in it, or they reduced the value of their home because of the storm of Sandy. Total budget went from $63,629,643 to $66,418,877 to $2,789,234 increase, or 4.38%. Without having to say it again, but I will, mainly due to Sandy. Municipal levy went from $47,580,429 to $48,621,694, which is a $1,041,265 increase, or 2.2%. Again, this number includes the piece of Sandy that's not covered by the FEMA reimbursement. This number, that 2.2% would change to 1.73% increase if we had the 90% reimbursement from FEMA.
So Nick, just so we're clear and so I'm clear, 2.2% is the proposed introduced budget in terms of an increase, all in 75% fee, anticipating 75% fee reimbursements, and 1.74% will be the increase if we receive a 90% reimbursement, correct?
It's an estimated number, but that's more or less the number, yeah.
All in.
Yeah, Nick,
Well, it gets better. I'm going to show you something.
I was going to, obviously, I guess your continuance is continuing along the same line of thought. You can give us the percentage that's attributable to the superstorm.
You'll see the difference in a minute. I'll get there. So the proposed tax rate went from 0.482 to 0.496. What does that mean? The average homeowner, at an annual cost on a $380,000 house for 2012, this number is $375,500 for 2013. The average home went down by $4,500. So comparing the two, you have the average home, the municipal levy on an average home was $1,831.26 in 2012. In 2013, it's $1,862.09, which is $30.83 a year, or $2.57 per month, which represents 1.68% increase. Okay, so now I'm going to give you an example of what it would have been like if we had no storm. And to keep it fair, what I did was I compared both years, 2012 and 13, without either one of them, without the storms that they had. That way, all you saw was strictly budget from the operating budget for the municipality without any extraordinary expense that isn't a continual expense. So in total budget, again, this is a recap of what it is currently with Sandy. Total budget was, I just went through these numbers, it was a 4.38% increase. Without Sandy, the difference is, the difference between 2012 to 2013 is $479,234, or a 0.76% increase in our budget. So that's less than 1% increase if we didn't have Sandy or Irene in the last 2 years. So this tells you, the reason I put this here is because I didn't want the storm to take away from how efficient we've become here in reducing our budgets increases to the absolute minimum that we can deal with. So on the tax levy, again, this is a repeat from the one before where it's with Sandy at 2.2% increase. Without Sandy, it's a 1.14% increase. That's far below the state maximum of 2%, far below. And you'll see in the next couple slides how that actually played out. You see the trend and how it's been decreasing, and then all of a sudden here it pops up a little bit more to 2.2% in 2013. That's because of Sandy. If I show you without Sandy, you see this steady decline that we've had, constant decline. And that's basically due to cost-saving measures we've adopted. And one of them is the continuous evaluation and implementation of efficiency measures. I'll give you one quick example of that. We combined the Parks Department with Public Works so that you have one manager watching over both, and they were able to incorporate many of the duties that were being duplicated into one area and get better service for the parks in the process. We have heavy scrutiny on departmental budget requests, and since the chief is the only department head here right now, you can ask him, and every time he leaves a little lighter, and he threatens to retire each time. I'm still waiting for that day to come, but
I'm not going to comment.
But yes, if you look at their budget was completely flat. As a matter of fact, it went down by a couple of dollars. I don't know if he caught that when it happened, so I'm telling him now because he can't change it. We have ongoing attention to energy savings opportunities. With this, we are constantly looking at the different co-ops that we can join for electric and gas, and between the two, we've been saving money every year, and excuse me, this year seems to be another year where we're going to be able to save money from our electric bill, right? Not electric, right? That's the new one that they're doing right now.
They're doing right now in April.
Right. Excuse me. Also, we continue to see savings from all the energy grants that we received over the last year and a half, and we implemented changing I think most of the HVAC systems in all the buildings to energy efficient ones, and we changed the lighting with automatic shut-off switches and different bulbs and high efficiency lighting inside all the buildings. Also, we are continuing with our effort in the natural gas fleet that we're establishing. We talked about it last year that we were looking at purchasing 2 garbage trucks, and we did purchase them. Now we're in the lead to get a natural gas fueling station from New Jersey Natural Gas, They're still going through the application process, but in the meantime, we're...
Nick, did I just stop you right there? That's at no cost to the township, that fuel.
No cost.
Right, okay.
Right? These are all through grants. It was all through grants that we initiated it, and we're continuing it through all through grants. Maybe at one point, the cost of purchasing the new vehicles will be through our budget, but it would be substituting other vehicles that are, instead of buying regular gas, we'll be buying natural gas, and the savings will come in the reduction of maintenance to the natural gas vehicles versus the regular gas vehicles.
And that facility also will be open to the public in addition to the township.
The facility, if we get the facility through first, what's it? New Jersey Natural Gas. There's so many gas companies in my head. New Jersey Natural Gas, then that facility will be open, will be run by them. It'll be on our property, and it will be open to the public, and it will be encouraged that the public use it. And so that'll be a fueling station, and it'll be a large fueling station, just like the regular gas station. The temporary one that we'll be getting is only going to be for our use for the vehicles that we have in the meantime.
Thanks.
And then we also do annual evaluations of all our user and service fees. And there's some service fees that are mandated by the state that we evaluate every year. Our construction code officials and the fire, I guess, as well. We have to make sure that our costs are being covered by the fees. So we're staying on top of this. And that's pretty much your presentation.
Thank you. Great job.
Is that going to be online?
It will on Monday.
Okay, do you need a motion?
Yep.
Okay. You want to? Okay, I move to introduce the 2013 municipal budget.
I'll second.
Committeeman Fiore,
Yes.
Committeeman Michelle,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray,
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino,
Yes.
Mayor Sharpenberger.
Yes.
Motion carries to introduce 2013 municipal budget. At this time, we have Resolution 13-107, introduction of the 2013 solid waste budget.
Move for introduction?
Second.
I didn't do a presentation on that, but it stayed flat.
That's the best presentation of all.
It's one number.
Committeeman Fiore,
Yes.
Committeeman Michelle,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray,
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino,
Yes.
Mayor Sharpenberger.
Yes.
Motion carries to introduce the 2013 solid waste budget. This time we have Resolution 13-108, a resolution authorizing the municipal budget to be read by title.
Move for adoption?
Second.
Committeeman Fiore,
Yes.
Committeeman Michelle,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray,
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino,
Yes.
Mayor Sharpenberger.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt Resolution 13-108. At this time, we have introduction of 2013-3086, ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank for NJSA 48:4-45.14.
So moved.
Second.
Committeeman Fiore,
Yes.
Committeeman Michelle,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray,
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino,
Yes.
Mayor Sharpenberger.
Yes.
Motion carries to introduce ordinance 2013-3086 with a public hearing to be determined upon the public hearing for the budget. This time we have township committee comments.
Mr. Michelle?
Can I make one more, in case anybody did not catch it through the presentation, in doing all this, we were able to be inside the state levy cap. We were well within the levy cap. I don't know if I mentioned the actual levy cap itself. It's a different calculation than just looking at the numbers in front of you, but we were well below.
Okay, thanks, Nick.
Just very briefly, I just want to congratulate actually Nick on a great presentation, and That's phenomenal news, and I can't imagine we could have done much better. It's fantastic.
Senator Brino.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just bring up a couple things as certainly thank you to our administration for getting this out on time and well under where we expected it to be. It's important to understand that the 2.2% that Mr. Tresente mentioned included approximately $500,000 of new expenses for Sandy. So one thing to keep in mind is that without that storm, that percentage increase all in will be approximately 1.14%. That's a fairly substantive reduction, and that's attributable only to a new expense for Sandy. So that's important to understand. Although we did have additional cost drivers, there are revenues that this committee and this administration will be anticipating for the following years that we worked on this year. So there will continue to be increased revenues and reduced expenses this year and years to come. So we're glad to see that the work that the administration has done and what the committee has put in place is going to continue to decrease expenses and increase revenues. That's all I have there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Fiore.
Thank you, Mayor. I also will echo the comments of my two colleagues here with both to the administration and finance for putting a budget together that not only was early and on time, but also that well exceeds, I believe, the public's expectations post Superstorm Sandy. So, a job well done, and look forward to doing more and just continuing our commitment to keep spending as low as possible and to meet these caps. With that said, I just wanted to mention one other thing, Mayor, with regards to one of the things that I believe and hope we will be taking action on that I read this morning, and one that I know this committee has been very near and dear to, which is continually thinking outside the box, and which also includes, as the CFO put, further partnerships with the Board of Education, and I look forward to that shared service, not only all shared services that we've done with the Board of Education, which have saved money, but also I commend the leadership of the Board of Education for working together with us with respect to our goals to provide upgraded and new field facilities and field facility maintenance and upgrades to athletic fields. I think it shows a great deal of leadership from the president and other board members to want to have the Township Committee put those resources on Board of Education property. I think that makes a lot of sense so that they get more usage for the students and taxpayers of Middletown during the day. I commend the Board of Education for putting skin in the game and stepping up to working together with us and voting on, and I think we're going to take action on this on Monday, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Mayor, with regards to them actually making a financial commitment towards this. And I think it shows leadership and it shows cooperation for those who voted to support this. And I just think it's just sometimes you see some votes, and I know it wasn't a unanimous vote, but putting things on and having board members call for referendums. And I know this we're going to be introducing a capital ordinance that's in this budget and anticipating this budget that will actually go towards using some of those permit revenues towards paying capital expenditures for these fields. And I just, for the life of me, can't understand how some people hide behind referendums, but I am very pleased that the Board of Education is working closely with us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Marty, you're up.
I too commend the administration for presenting such a lean budget. A 2.2% tax levy with 75% FEMA reimbursement, or even better, a 1.67 tax levy if we get the 90% reimbursement, despite Sandy's $500,000 price tag is commendable, and It's a testament to how efficiently things are run in our town, and even better is that we're still able to pursue quality of life enhancing initiatives like new fields. And I'm very pleasantly surprised and happy today because usually in this day and age you pay more for less, and I don't think that's the case here. So I'm looking forward to the final numbers with optimism. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I would have to say also, the administration did a phenomenal job on this budget, and I think everybody sitting up here, if you would have told us we would come in at this rate with such a solid budget, October 30th, we would have all shaken our hands and said, there's no way. It's really extraordinary, and to be able to absorb the tremendous loss of revenue and the increased expenses that we were able to is really a testament to how well the town is run, how resilient we are, and how we're able to, accommodate these sort of unexpected tragedies as they occur. So that, it's really something we can be very proud of as a whole, and something that, we're going to really use as a model. I've spoken to other mayors around the area. Not everybody is in quite as good a shape, and I guess we'll see that as other budgets come online. But this is something that is really a collective effort, a lot of great effort on all the department heads' parts, and certainly the staff of the township. Everybody pulled their weight, everybody pitched in, and really kept an eye on expenses, and that made all the difference in the end. As Community Man Fiore had mentioned about the shared service agreement, which will be coming up on Monday, it is a great thing, and it is really the way things should be. You have these two entities working together, both funded by the taxpayers, and really working in concert to get the most bang for the buck, really make sure expenses are kept to a minimum while delivering the maximum in services. And it's really a great relationship, and I think it can only get better. And just as a little aside, this Township Committee has many initiatives coming up that we're going to be rolling out in this coming year that's going to help this sort of budget process and this sort of leanness that we have now continue and hopefully grow. And just one other thing, and this is sort of longer than I anticipated speaking for my comments at the special meeting. I, along with Tony Mercantante, Cindy Hershaft, and Todd Costello, accepted the award down at Monmouth University for the #1 website in the state of New Jersey, and it was quite a thrill. A little bit embarrassing being called up time after time to accept an award, but it really was something that meant a lot to us because we really strive to be as transparent and as accessible to the township residents as possible. And this is living proof that it is working, and we will continue to do so. And with that, I'm going to save the rest for Monday. Okay? Thank you very much.
Any public comments?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Linda Brown, Bank of Connection, Mayport. A couple questions. You mentioned that this coming Monday, there was also going, in addition to the shared services agreement with the Board of Ed that was going to be introduced, there was going to be a capital ordinance introduced. Did I hear you right?
I said I look forward to a capital ordinance being introduced. I don't know if I specified Monday, but in the very near future.
Also, there was a number in the budget presentation, it was 500,000 was attributed to Sandy, and there was talk about 75% reimbursement, potentially 90. The numbers we've been seeing for the total cost of cleanup, not even renovation or repair, the total cost of cleanup was 14 million. So 25% of that, which would be the township portion, would be 3.5 million. If it is 90% reimbursement, then the township portion would be 1.4 million. So I'm wondering why it's only $500,000 in the budget. Is this something that's going to be recognized over several budgets going forward?
It's over 5 years. And we are going to have a public hearing for the budget discussion, but since that's more Sandy discussion, I don't mind getting into it.
Okay, well, any more questions? The health insurance figure, 8.4 million, you mentioned that reduced, was reflected a reduction for employee contributions, correct?
No, it reflected an increase in employee contributions.
We have the highest in the state of New Jersey right now.
But that's not a gross figure, that 8.4 million
So that
reflects
Net.
a reduction
Net figure.
for amounts that employees have paid for their for their health insurance.
Well, it reflects a net increase in our expenses, given that there will be some increased contribution from employees.
The only budget with cost is you take the net, it's a net cost.
It's already taken.
Right, it's already reduced for amounts that are expected to be paid by employees. What about like a reduced for expected?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, so I need this to be closer to the public. Is it also reduced for expected reinsurance recoveries? I know it's an estimated figure. So
Estimated.
It's not for the net figure, okay. What was the total, you talked about the total reduction in, or rather the average home assessment decline of 4,500. What was the total reduction in our assessment base? What was?
All that information is going to be on the website on Monday, because it's all in it's all in the presentation, and that'll all be on the website on Monday. And this isn't the public hearing, so we're really not supposed to have a discussion about it without everybody being informed of the public hearing date. That's why they make us advertise it and not discuss it tonight.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know, that's why we do a presentation. We put the presentation in the paper and then, or in online, and then you can gather all your questions for the public hearing.
Okay,
Thanks.
just one other point that I wanted to make about this meeting. At the beginning of the meeting, it was mentioned this is all, public notice was duly provided. There was nothing in the Asbury Park Press, or, I checked public notices online, that notified the public that the time was changed from 6 to 5. There was no e-blast from the township.
Asbury Park Press.
Pardon?
Take that up with the Asbury Park Press.
Well, I understand that this is not necessarily a violation of the Open Public Meetings Act, because that requires you simply to get the information to them in time to publish it, whether or not they do. So I understand the comment. But my point is, there could have been an e-blast from the township. We get many other things from the township. You do have email addresses. And even those of us who are signed up didn't receive anything. I happened to stumble across the notice that was posted on the town's website. Had I not seen that, I would not have known. And you could just look in here, and there are probably a lot of people that might have wanted to attend that probably think that starts.
I happened to read it on a couple other sites, so I think the word did get out. I know the patch had it at 5 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, the patch had it on there because I stumbled on it and we notified them. But the township didn't make the same effort. I think that it would have really happened. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else care to speak? Yes, Leo, you're up.
Good evening, Leo Christopher, 121 Cranberry Court, River Plaza, Middletown. Is there budget material available in this, that I can get?
Yeah, there is.
Is it over there now?
Yeah, the budget and the presentation, we have to get it all signed now. It'll be available on Monday morning.
Is it available now in hard copy? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's not certified or signed, but you can have it. It's not going to change.
When I go shopping, which is rarely for food, but sometimes my wife's on the trip, so I have to go shopping. It's buy one, get one free, it's low calorie, it's no calorie, and I like it when it's 98% fat free. I suspect their budget is about 91% fat free. I think we can get it down to, maybe not down to 98, but we could have a good smoke hand of a budget if you could get it down to 95.6 fat free. Okay, enough of that.
Dinner time,
There is also a serious point. I'll stay away from the budget till the next meeting. A lot of the stuff, actuarial stuff can be arbitrary and subjective. In the article, but just 2 comments. Tonight you have, I think, 3 taxpayers sitting in the audience, 2 employees of the township, and 4 media people. That's not a good attendance. I don't know if that's the fault of the scheduling or not, but I'm kind of leaning in that direction. Maybe these things should be done at 8 o'clock, the regular meeting time. So people are creatures of habit, you know. I'll be there Monday.
Leo, just so you know, this is pretty typical for the introduction of a budget. You know,
This isn't the public hearing, right?
yeah, public hearing is a little different.
Okay. In the Asbury Park Press, there's an article on the shared services between the Board of Ed and the Township Committee. And it would seem to me that some meetings I attended there were efforts to resolutions for the former committee to reduce the cost of various things, especially the school board budget. And I asked that both these resolutions be rewritten and updated. And I think former Mayor Fiore said that there will be work done on that. I'd like to see some further work done on that, which is relevant to the school budget thing. It seems to me you could exact from the school board some kind of commitment, namely that it may be an extreme proposal, but perhaps we need that to get people thinking. I would suggest that if you want to have shared meetings with the school board, $2.25 million, they bond that, they might have to go to referendum. Is that correct?
$2.25 million bond of the month.
Is that correct? That they'll have to go to referendum?
For what? I don't understand the correct question. They're not bonding anything.
Okay, so they won't go to referendum. Okay.
I don't know where you're getting to it. No.
Well, they have to come up with $250,000 out of their budget, and they don't have it in operating expenses. And if they go to
Capital surplus.
if it goes to capital improvement, it has to be bonded money.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Well, I guess we'll see. It's not a flat out immediate answer then. I would propose that you ask that the school board convert all interscholastic sports to, for one of a better denomination, club sports, where the taxpayers do not pay any taxes for the athletic, interscholastic athletic activities of...
Leo, have you gone to their meetings and request this directly to them? Okay.
It's on that, and you can imagine the response I got. You can imagine. You know, it's, I'm not a bomb dropper, but you know, I can drop some real practical ideas that'll go nowhere. Which means it's a verbal bomb.
Leo, we're going to have to move on. I think there's a few other folks who have their hands raised, so you're up at the limit.
Yeah, so I would recommend that you ask the school board to consider removing the burden of the taxpayers paying for interscholastic sports, both male and female, and they convert to club sports where the athletes, the parents, the relatives, the friends, and interested philanthropists in the community contribute to the cost of the, and then we would be, that would make things, it would make the meat of the budget more fat-free.
Okay, thank you.
May I just raise one thing for Leo? With respect to the interscholastic sports, I believe, and I may be mistaken, that they do have a pay-to-participate policy in place for their student athletes. The shared service agreement wasn't done specifically for varsity games and things of that nature. But the agreement that the Township Committee will take action on Monday that was passed in the form of the Board of Education basically gave them three options, okay? It's just to be clear, which we'll have the option as Township Committee to pass or vote against. And the three options were: A, the Township can, renovate a field at Thompson Middle School for no contribution from the Board of Education, just let us do it. B, The township will do Thompson Middle School, and if you want another field for equality purposes that some board members were pushing for, on the north side of town, then you're going to have to make some level of contribution to do that, because the township's not going to spend money that they can't afford. And C, which was take no action and, say no to the township, and we'll go do this on our own property somewhere. And the Board of Education, I believe on a 7-3 vote, voted for option B. So there were multiple options. And one of the things that they did do recently, which I am proud that they did, was they actually opened up their athletic facilities at North and South. I believe the 2 high school football fields to recreational, to be permitted, that they do the permitting for recreational purposes, and I believe they lowered their fees to do that, so that more taxpayers will have the ability to use those facilities. So just wanted to clarify those points for you, because I know there was a little bit of confusion. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Anybody else care to speak? Going once, going twice? Seeing no further members of the public come forward, move to close the public portion and move for adjournment.
Second.
Committeeman Fury.
Yes.
Committeeman Sal.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Mayor Schaeffer.
Yes.
Motion carries to adjourn.